ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Been very active recently and had to make this quick video because of the most recent idea I posted. So just to quickly recap, everything I post is on tradingview.com. The reason being, obviously I've just started this account in particular, which is why the trial, so I thought I might as well utilize the trial before obviously upgrading to pro, which I definitely will do. Started this from Euro AUD, very good to start with. Then we had GBP CAD, UTrust, and now BTC USD. Now, just to recap, the reason I started on TradingView was because, as I mentioned in the previous videos, when you post something on TradingView, it stays there. You can't actually delete it. So everything that's on here is sort of like, you can think of it as your resume, as your CV, right? So everything on here you can't actually delete. So the best way, or one of the best ways to actually see the authenticity of a trader is to check their TradingView. Because if they have, if they're confident in their ability and they have the guts to post on TradingView, then you see their wins, you see their losses, you see how accurate their analysis is. So more than like seeing somebody's profits and screenshots of MT4s and seeing Instagram pictures of their charts with 50 to 1 risk rewards, obviously that's an exaggeration, but you have these ridiculous risk rewards, and they claim they've taken it, but whether they do or don't, obviously only they know really. But to actually see, I don't know, just more of a realistic view, I guess, because I don't claim to make these ridiculous risk rewards. I still make pretty good risk reward, very good anyway, but just nothing stupid. And I understand that I'm not insecure about when I get things wrong, because I've built so much of a good system, or systems, because I haven't just got one system, so many good systems that I can back them long term, which is why I have no issue showing all of this on TradingView. And obviously for you guys, it just, you can definitely scroll, if you have the time, and obviously once I've built this properly, you can just scroll through, you can make notes, actually, because I annotate them quite well as well, you'll be able to pick up a lot of things. So I think overall it's just a pretty good way of doing it. But anyway, instead of blabbing on, let me just go straight onto it. So I did videos covering the last three, so Euro or GBP CAD, UTrust, and also BTC USD, so Bitcoin. So this was posted 17 hours ago, as you can see. The date is currently 8th of February 21. And let's take a look at it. So what I seen was obviously, I'll go into the charts and explain it properly, but essentially we had demand here, which was this. I think this was the big daily demand, this big box here, and then obviously you can refine it for entries, which I did. So you had the medium time frame and then your entry time frame, which was the smaller box. And I wrote there, if we see the break to the upside soon, then I will trade, otherwise no trade. Very easy, because obviously my fundamentals, my technicals, my high time frame, everything is pointing towards Bitcoin to be bullish. So the thing is, I see some people who trade this as a trend line break of structure, retest. It is actually really simple stuff, yet people have this as their strategy, and that's where the problem is. A lot of the things people know in retail, it isn't all rubbish. A lot of it does actually work when done properly. There's a reason some people are successful with it, and I believe that reason. Not that I trade this all the time. Like I said, I've got multiple things that I trade, multiple systems and strategies that I trade. But with this one in particular, it's just a good way of gaining quite a specific entry. So you just look for a break of structure, retest, and then trade the retest, and then continue upwards. That way you can have a fairly tight stop, with a pretty tight stop considering the upside profit. And what I'd say is, if you are going to use things like this, have other confirmations in place. For starters, this wasn't the trade idea. This 2 hits of a trend line break of structure retest. This was just the entry technique. The trading idea itself was built upon this higher time frame demand zones, I should say, it was creating, and the one I found was able to refine, and obviously the fundamental aspect as well. I'm only trading if we see an upwards break of the structure I plotted. Otherwise, I'm not trading, as it could easily push low if price struggles to find the necessary buy orders, which was spot on. I even had someone comment, now's the time to get in, and I said, still going to wait for the break of structure and then loading up. Let's have a look how it played out. Yeah, very happy with that. I did actually close at 43k as well. So broke to the upside, retest exactly as anticipated, played out to the T, and then as we can see, it rocketed upwards. Now, a lot of people are saying, oh yeah, this was because, Tesla just bought 1.5 billion Bitcoin and stuff. But you know what it is? If you just look at it throughout history, whenever there's like a big move in the market, you look at the technicals, and the technicals always line up. Like there was one a long time ago, I believe it was with the Dow Jones, and you've seen it was like a really nice, there's like 3 or 4 technical factors lining up perfectly. It was even like a 61.8 Fibonacci retracement, and if you use like pitchforks, etc., or GANs, it retested the median lines perfectly, and you've seen it absolutely melted. And on the news the next day, they wrote, or someone accidentally put an extra 0 on the order for Wall Street, and that's why it dropped. And it's like, they come up with these things, but realistically, the technicals, all these things, they just speed up where technically it was going to go anyway. So what I'll do is I will go on to BTC USD, and let's actually take a look into the charts properly. Right, so now we're into the charts. Let's just start by going on the monthly and taking a look. So as you can see, there's not really much to gain. You've got much to gain in terms of information. Huge bullish momentum. Everyone knows that, especially with this, what's going to happen with Bitcoin is more people invest, the higher it's going to go, etc. You see already from there, breaking these highs, you expected it to be bullish. Obviously, you would never trade purely off this knowledge, but when you're basically just building a picture, as you can also see, impulse correction, what do you expect to see? Continuation, so you can gain a quick bias on the weekly that's also bullish, as well as the monthly. Daily, now you see we had obviously a push upwards, so let me just draw this out. So we had our push upwards, then we had our base, and then continue to push upwards, ran back into this zone, which is when I actually drew the the demand zone. So let me just jump onto the 4-hour. As you can see, we had our 4-hour zone, just covering all of the demand in this area, pushing upwards, pushing back out. What am I expecting? I'm expecting the other buy orders they weren't able to fulfill on the first move to come back in. Jump down to the 1-hour, refined it even more, and this is obviously the entry I used. You could even refine it even more if you wanted to. There's really no need, especially with something as volatile as Bitcoin. I expected to push up, push down, so let me just be, even if you say, okay, so you took it on the retest at this level, which I would have, and I did for that matter. Say you had your stop loss, so I was expecting 43k was my TP. It wasn't an actual TP order. It was, I knew it was going to rise, so it was a case of taking the TP manually. Obviously, I could have left it running till 44.8, but I still, as soon as I seen this big candle, I was like, yeah, that's me out. There's no point me holding any longer. If I do see a retracement, even if I see it retrace to this level right here, that's probably where I'll buy more, but it's one of them. I'll have to see how it plays out. So either a 3, so let's just say a 4R trade you're going to gain on this if you took like this entry here. Obviously you can refine your stop loss a lot more than this, or let's just say pessimistically you're really conservative and you had to put your stop loss right below this box. The minimum you're going to get from it is still a 2R, which is very solid. So yeah, that's just a breakdown on BTC USD. There's many more to come. If you could follow me on TradingView at the-pip-hunter. I'll also leave all the social links in the description. And as you can see, guys, let's just quickly go back to the profile. I've done 4 trades so far, all of which have been broken down on YouTube. I've also posted all the videos, and what you're going to get with me is I'm not going to sell you any signals, services, mentorship, any courses, not affiliated with any brokers. It's literally just to help out. So if you could interact with the channel, subscribe, like, share, I would really appreciate it. But yeah, I'll catch you in the next video.